Welcome to another episode of You Love Comic Books. This is episode 25. Can you believe it? 25 episodes. I don't know how I did it, but here we are. 25 episodes later. You know what? I think I got some good stuff here in this haul. Usually I do these episodes like 2 weeks, 3 weeks apart sometimes, but I just fell into a bunch of stuff this week. Just stopped at different places and found some really good stuff. So I think that makes it worthy of a haul video. Not just any haul video, but a 25th episode haul video. So I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I saw that I gained at least 11 since last time. So we're at 80 subscribers now. And that, you know what? That's not that bad. But I want to get to 100. Let's get to 100. I'd like to thank, and again, if you find yourself liking this, watching this video, it's probably because you like comic book haul videos, comic book collection videos, comic book spec videos. And you know what? If you like what you see here, why not give it a like? Leave a comment. I will respond. If you have any questions of any kind pertaining to the video, I will respond to that. Of course, be nice, I guess. Decent thing to do. And why not subscribe? Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. All right, you know what? Before I get into the haul, I'm going to do some mini reviews of my weekly pull list. So here we go. Amazing Spider-Man #1. That's right, it's another #1. I could be wrong, but this might be the 10th volume. If you know the correct answer, I'm sure I could Google it, but if you know the correct answer, leave it in the comment section. Tell me how far we've gone, how many #1s of Amazing Spider-Man are there? Do you remember back in the day when Spider-Man came out, Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man from 1990? It was like such a huge deal because it was like the first time. Like, I know we've had Spectacular Spider-Man at that point. You had Marvel Team Up, which was really a Spider-Man book. You had Web of Spider-Man, but you didn't have like a Spider-Man title. So not just was it like McFarlane, but it was Spider-Man. And it was such a big deal. But now it's like, I swear, every like 50, 100 issues, they start over. And so, yeah. What did I think of this book? It's good. I stopped reading Spider-Man around 56 or something of the last volume. I just kind of got tired of the whole, I think it was Kindred storyline or something. This one's interesting. They do a good job of like jumping 6 months, so it allows like a nice breathing room from like the previous story. John Romita Jr. is a great artist. Will I continue reading this? I don't know. It comes out like 3 times a month, and I don't know if I want to, invest in Spider-Man titles a month, 3, 4 a month. And I also don't want the space, I'd rather they pile up quick. So, but like I said, if you like Zeb Wells, you like John Romita Jr., they did an excellent job on this series, so I recommend it. Jim Rugg's Hulk Grand Design Madness. This is the second and last issue of the Hulk Grand Design by Jim Rugg. If you're familiar with Cartoonist Kayfabe on YouTube, that's an awesome show that him and Ed Piskor do. Really big fan of it. They also do these Grand Design series. Ed Piskor did not Fantastic Four, sorry, the X-Men. And the Hulk one I had to get because I'm a big Hulk fan, and I do have like almost the entire volume of Hulk. Volume 1 was it 102 to like 474, whatever they ended it. This, if you're familiar with the Grand Design series, it kind of cobbles together in a very interesting way. Like summarizes the history of the Hulk and creating almost like a continuity throughout it, and I highly recommend it. If you're a big Hulk fan, this is definitely like a great gift for a Hulk fan. Like when they release it, they're probably gonna do like a big edition with the 2 issues collected. I highly recommend this. Crimson Reign Star Wars #4. This is okay. I mean, this is the Knights of Ren. It's about the Knights of Ren, and if you're familiar with the Knights of Ren, they were the thing that gets mentioned once, I think, maybe gets mentioned once in Force Awakens. They don't show up at all in Last Jedi, and then they show up in Rise of Skywalker for like a minute. They don't really do anything. It's kind of like a false promise, but they do show up in the Kylo Ren miniseries that came out around that time, which really people love that one. I think they love that more than the entire sequel trilogy. And they kind of pop up here, and I don't know if they pop up anywhere else, but they show up in Crimson Reign. And this issue focuses on the leader and the group. I mean, if you're a big Star Wars fan and Marvel, you're buying the comics, I recommend this. This miniseries is interesting, and it's really more like a, it really isn't, I wouldn't say it's almost like a series of one-shots, really. It doesn't really have a continuity. It has a series of one-shots that deal with each character that is part of Crimson Dawn, run by Kira. And the next issue is going to focus on Kira. She's the character that was in Solo, the movie. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Like I said, it's really just a series of one-shots. All right, actually, no, I have two more. Saga, number 58. Like I said, if you're a big Saga fan, you're probably aware that it was pretty much gone for 3 years. 2.5 years. There was no Saga issues. And now it's back. We're 4 issues in. I think there'll be like 2 more and they take a break. I mean, if you're a Saga fan, Fiona Staples, Brian K. Vaughan, it's great. I mean, I don't know, it's everyone's cup of tea, but if you like Saga, you'll like this issue. It's consistently is very good every issue. So I'm curious where it's gonna go. I'm sure this series is not what's the word? It's finite, meaning has an end. Again, you could correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Scumbag number 13. Speaking of finite, this is the second to last issue. 14 being the last one that's coming out next. When? I don't know. This is a great series on also from Image, from Rick Remender. I don't know if this is everyone's cup of tea. This is definitely not for kids. I enjoy it. It definitely deals with politics. If you're sensitive to politics of any kind, this is not for you. If you're very, I don't know the best way to describe it. If you just do not want to deal with politics in any way, this comic is not for you. Left, right, or whatever your position is. But I enjoy it. All right, here we go. Let's go to the haul. Got this one for $4. Avengers Forever. This one isn't pretty good. Yeah, the bag makes it look like it has a big spine tick, but it doesn't. This book kind of picked up. I don't know if it means anything. It's Avengers Forever number 3, and it's supposed to be like the first appearance of a female Moon Knight. I did not get a chance to read it, but I'm not buying the series. I knew it was getting big, and I was at a store, and they were only charging cover price for it, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to grab this, because I see this book going for like $20, $30. Doesn't mean I'm going to go run out and sell this now. I'm just happy to have it. Aaron Cooter, Cooter. I think that is his name too, is Aaron Cooter. I screwed that up, but Jason Aaron's the writer. He's a great artist. Got to work with him at some shows in the past, and very nice guy. So, Iron Man 17. All right, here we go. Nice Silver Age book. This is the first appearance of Madame Mask. Now, it's not the first appearance of the character who becomes Madame Mask. I think she first premieres in Iron Man number 1, which is going to be a much more expensive book. But this book is going to... Now, I feel like the thing about the Marvel movies and with the Iron Man movies is that there was some missed opportunities and that they didn't really exploit the villains too much. Iron Man 1, you had, I forgot his name, something Obadiah Stane, and he ended up just being, a big gray Iron Man. And then 2, you had Mickey Rourke, which was just weird, and, what's-his-face was great. My God, I totally screwed up the name. But Madame Mask, I feel like was a character that never got used. I think she would have been perfect for the movies, especially in the Iron Man movies. I think it just would have fit in really well, but, maybe she'll show up in Armor Wars of some sort in the future. Doesn't have to have Tony Stark to be the villain. But happy to have this. I think I got this one. They had it for 50. The guy gave it to me for 40, so that was really cool. I'd say it's a pretty solid copy. The back is really nice. If I got this press and clean, I could probably get an 8 on this. Maybe. I don't know. Not bad. Happy to have it, though. I mean, hey, get a Silver Age villain. I wouldn't say Madam Mask is the biggest villain ever, but there's potential there. And, yeah, happy to have this. Star Wars Canon number 8 and number 9. Trying to finish out this series. Got these for 4 each. Happy to have them. I'm missing like 1, 5, and 6. 10, 11, and 12. Unfortunately, was it 1, 6, and 12 are like really expensive. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look in and find them. Earth X number 5. This is literally just a. I already have this series, but I saw it and it was like only like cover price or whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna grab this. This is the first female Thor. It's not Jane Foster Thor. But I feel like with the movie coming out, it's a big hit, and this is also a great Alex Ross cover. You're going to see some demand for this book, so happy to have it. Universe X6. I actually got this last week. I got another one. I sold one on eBay. I'm selling this one as well, and you can see the link in my bio. I do sell some stuff. Most of the stuff I showcase on this show, though, is stuff that's either from my collection, stuff I'm going to hold, or like stuff I plan on selling at some point. Who knows? I mean, I don't usually run out and buy and then throw it on eBay unless it's like some stupid book that like I don't care about, or like I don't know. Doesn't matter. But Universe X number 6, great cover. This is considered the inspiration for the Moon Knight in the Marvel series. So we're only 1 issue left. And if you notice, it's like kind of more of a mummified look, especially in the face, and that kind of resembles more in the show. So this has picked up a bit. Speaking of another comic that's picked up a bit, Battlestar Galactica number 1. Got this one for $11.99, I think. It's in really, really good condition. I would say 9 maybe. I don't know. I'm not a professional grader, but I try my best to like keep an eye out when I buy a book, especially something like this where I don't want to spend too much, but I also want to get a really good condition copy of it. So I almost bought one like a week or two ago for like 7 or 8, but it was in like not as good condition as this one. So I'm kind of glad I held out and waited. This series has picked up. There's an announcement of a show. I don't know. This is like one of those, this is a spec buy for me. We'll see what happens. I'm happy to have this. It's a great cover. Any of these like property books, and you're going to see several of those throughout this show. They're gaining traction, especially like with nostalgia and like just bringing, these properties, they regurgitate them or they bring them back. Every couple of years, Battlestar Galactica is another show that's going to come back again. Happy to have it, so we'll see. USA Avengers number 1. This is the first appearance of that Red Hulk. Got this for just cover price. This book kind of was like picking up a couple months ago. I don't think it's gonna like go for anything crazy or anything like that, but like unfortunately William Hurt passed away, and he was playing Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. Obviously they're probably not gonna recast him, but they might bring in this character who becomes the Red Hulk as well, because they're gonna bring the Red Hulk at some point to the MCU. So we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. This is the first appearance of Iron Man's Centurion armor. This was, as you can see, I left the price on there. That's what I got it for. Just something a minor Iron Man key. Happy to have it. It's also just a great cover. I just love the way it looks. Bob Layton's stuff I think is unappreciated. He's got some like amazing covers throughout this series. So happy to have it. And it's a decent copy. Silver Surfer number 8. This is kind of became like a spec book. I don't mind grabbing it anyway because I do have a lot of the volume 3. This is considered Silver Surfer. So it fills a hole. It was only $3.99. It's in really good condition. there's a character introduced to this that is supposed to be announced, and it's going to show up in either Guardians or one of these movies, and it started picking up. Kind of a good example is like Hulk 156 or something, where this character, supposedly Bill Murray's going to play him, and Ant-Man, the Wasp, Quantumania, and that book kind of went crazy. So if this book doesn't amount to anything, it's no big deal because it's still part of the series I wanted. So happy to have it either way. Power Man Iron Fist 78. This is considered the third appearance of Sabretooth. I read the book, I looked it up a bunch of times, and he's not really in this. Maybe I think he's like cloaked throughout it, but it is him. This is considered his third appearance. First appearance is Iron Fist 14, and then Power Man Iron Fist 66. 78 is his third appearance. And 84, I could be wrong, 84 is his fourth appearance. And what's crazy, I always found that interesting about Sabretooth is that he's not a Wolverine villain until like X-Men 211 or something. It's pretty nuts, you know? Happy to have it. It's a decent condition copy. Got it for 10. I've seen this book go for way more. So, you know, I inspected it at the store. It was in great condition. It's a newsstand. Oh my God, it's a newsstand. And, yeah, hey, I got 66. I'm happy to get 78. I want to get a copy of 84. 14, that one's going to be expensive. So we'll see what happens. Sector's Warriors of Sibion. So this is one of these property books from the 80s. There was a toy line based on it. It was $7. I don't know if I wanted to pay $7 for it, but I've seen this book go easily for $20. It's in really good condition. It's a newsstand copy from the 80s. Now remember, these toy property books were notorious for being treated like garbage by kids. They weren't like collectors were getting X-Men at the time. You're going to run into better condition copies of X-Men before you run into better condition copies of Sectors. That's just a fact. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, will Sectors come back? I don't think so. It was a crazy toy line that involved like puppetry. Like, if any of you remember this, sound off in the comment section. That would mean that you are in your early to late 40s, depending on what year you were born. I was born in 77, so this was primed. I never owned any, but I remember going to a friend's house who had a whole bunch of them, and they were just crazy like that. They were like hand puppets, the vehicles. They were insects that you see on the cover. And I think the guy who invented Sectors, he also created Boglins. I don't know if you know what those were. They were like these ugly like rubberized puppets. I don't know. Happy to have this. Again, anytime you can run and find one of those property books from the 80s, even the 70s, I'd say, you know, if you like them, you know, don't just buy it. I think this is a great cover. I'm not going to run out and get the rest of the series. Just happy to have this. All right, here we go. This is awesome. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Sorry, there's no 1, so I can't end on like the, countdown. So it was in a store. We were out of town, and I always, to my wife's chagrin, I always make her go to a comic store that's out of town. Got to check it out. You never know. You never know. And I've been trying to find Peter Parker comics forever now. Can never find them. Like, they're ghosts. You will not. You might find like one, and they're gonna charge like $50. There's like 2 different number 1s. The one with like the Hulk bunny, that's issue 1. That's part of the series. And then there's another number 1 with the Doctor Doom duck or whatever with Spider-Man. I have that one. I do not have number 1. Years ago, like early 2021, I was at a store and got like 18 through 12 or something for like $2 each. I think maybe it's 17. It's whatever the last issue is. It's like 17 or 18 issues for the full series. I've been trying to find these, so happy to find these. It was one of these stores where they don't really price their books, which I'm never usually a fan of, but sometimes they surprise you with amazing prices, and you're like, wow. These didn't have prices. The guy, he's like $3.25 each. Strange number, but I would say for issue 2 through 7, and really, really good condition copies of these Spider-Ham books. Again, you got to remember, these books were made for kids, and they were treated like dog crap. Like, to find them without spine ticks and like dog ears and just is pretty amazing. So happy to have these. So I'm almost done with that series. Speaking of filling in some holes in a collection, the same store had Uncanny XMen 119. They had this for $25, a little more than I wanted to pay for this comic, but it was it's in a really, really good condition. I'm going to say it's like an 8.5, which is great for this time. If you get this pressed and clean, I don't know, maybe you could get a 9. I don't know. Really happy with it. And so I had to grab it. Like, I've seen this book in some other stores, which I think is ridiculous because it's not really a key or anything. I mean, unless you're a big Moses Magnum fan. And I could be wrong. You could tell me if there's any other importance to this issue, except for the fact that it's part of the awesome John Byrne Claremont early 100s of X-Men. You can tell me below. Happy to have this. So now I only need to complete that, well, minus 94 through 100, because those are really expensive, and I'll have to try to find them. I have 101 up until like a certain point in the X-Men. So I only need 102, 103, and 116 to complete the hundreds. So happy to have it. This one was a fun buy. I almost didn't get it, but I figured I can't leave it behind, especially a Silver Age Thor that is... So this is like a reprint book, and it's not like... I don't think it's like any key points to it. There's a great... If you ever watch a show called Bronze and Modern Gods, they did a whole thing on this, and they talked about how, like, supposedly Marvel had some paper laying around or something. That's why this got printed. But you have this amazing cover that was made for this. Happy to have it. They were charging $14. I've seen this book in this condition go for like $75, which I think is a little overpriced. I think $14 is more than enough for this. It does have a tear in the back, like a little piece in the back top corner is missing, but at least the front, except for this little bendy on the bottom, as you can see. But overall, not bad. Some wear on the spine, but just happy to have this. I think for the price of what it was, the cover is intact. It looks great. It's awesome. Got this one for $4.50. Marvel Now .1. I think I have the variant that I bought years ago, but I didn't have this one. And this is considered the first cover appearance of America Chavez. We'll see. There's a lot of speculation on her character for years now. And she's showing up in Multiverse Madness. So it's either going to go with a, it's either going to be like, oh my God, I love this character. I want to see more of her, which means which they probably do have plans for her to do some kind of Young Avengers series, or she's going to show up in some Disney Plus series, some future, who knows? The sky's the limit. But if she's if she is terrible, all those people who paid like $1,000 for Vengeance #1 are gonna be like, you're just gonna hear boo boo, like Ren and Stimpy when they would do the gross ups, and they would go, you hear the trombone, boo boo, or it'll be like, oh my God, and like this book right here that I got for $4, I'm selling for like $50 to $100. Oh my God. We'll see what happens. We'll see. The movie comes out in a week. I'm really excited. Who knows? Who knows? The Man Called Nova, number 25. So I have, speaking of spec, I have issue 1, and now I have 25. I have no interest in getting the rest of the series. I knew that 25 is hard to get. It's a comic that goes for a decent amount. It's not, obviously not as much as 1, but you're going to see more demand for this book because the print number gets much lower around this point, and it's just harder to come by. I've seen this book go for like $20 to $25 easily at this condition or worse. I got this for $14.99. I don't know if it's more than I wanted to pay for it, but I'm happy to have it. So we'll see. And it's also just an awesome cover. It's one of the best covers in the series next to the first issue. The first issue is a great cover. Here's another one I've been wanting to get for quite some time. West Coast Avengers, Great Lakes Avengers Symbol, issue 46. Ignore that. That's from the price tag. That smudge. It's a pretty decent condition copy as well as the other one. They had this for $11.99. I think it's more than I want to pay for it, but I've seen this book go for $20 to $15 everywhere. And I passed up on it many times, and I was like, you know what? I do want, I've been looking for this. It's on my list. Happy to have this. It's done. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to buy it. You know? Especially if you're like, you travel or you drove somewhere, you're like, the joke is now that I finally got this issue, I'm going to see this in some like back issue bin for like $2. It's going to happen at some point. But I've always noticed, I always look for this one when I'm searching through West Coast Avenger back issues. And this one is never there. They'll have 44. They won't have 45. Well, they'll have like 42. They won't have 43 or 44. They definitely won't have 45. That's the first White Vision. I did showcase that in a previous episode of this YouTube show. And this one is never in there either. It'll be like the next one or like 48. It's always that chunk that's missing, and this is one of them. So I was like, I gotta just grab this. And here we go. Last book. Happy and a fun one to end it on. Marvel Age 134. Got this for $3. It's decent condition. It looked worse when I was looking in the bag, but when I was in the store, I always ask. I'm like, I want to look at these books before I buy them, because let me tell you, I bought books when I find out the whole back's water damage, and I don't care. Especially when the price is really good. And like, is it good because they didn't update it, or is it good because it's like it's a water damaged trash book? So I always check. This book is in decent condition. I guess there's like some cards in it. If you saw my not last episode, but it's episode 23 of You Love Comic Books, I showcased that I got a bunch of Beavis and Butthead comics. And then if you go back even further, a couple episodes, you will see that I got Beavis and Butthead like 1 through 10 or whatever. So I'm only missing now issue 28. I consider this like, you don't need to have this Marvel Age, you know, if you want to complete the series 1 through 28, but it's just a fun book to have. So happy to have it. I think you're going to see this one. These Marvel Age books have picked up. Remember, these are like preview books. They weren't like considered collectible. It's like stuff that we considered trash like 15, 20 years ago is not trash anymore, especially when, you know, people are looking at these books and they're trying to find like earlier appearances. You know, it's like Spawn didn't appear in Spawn #1. No, he showed up in an ad on the cover of Malibu Sun or whatever, and in an ad in Robotech, which I showcased in an episode of You Love Comic Books. You can go back and see that. So I always, if you can find a Marvel Age, like I'm not going to pay $50 for a Marvel Age book. I just think that's a little nuts. But I will gladly pay $3. And if it's a really good one, I'll pay up to $10, depending on what it is. So happy to have it. So yeah, not a bad, I would say, not a bad haul. A good 25th episode haul. Look at that, 25. Oh, I should have ended on the 25. Oh my God, I totally screwed up. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? There's nothing. It's over. You know, oh my God, the comics are falling down. So, again, if you like what you see in this video, give the episode a like. If you want to leave a comment, if you have any questions of what you saw, or you want to correct me in anything that you saw, we will duel in the comment section. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But I will, you know, respond. And you know what? Why don't you smash that subscribe button? Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. I'll try to do, I don't know when the next episode will be. It depends. I don't really plan these. If I find a whole bunch of books, then I'm going to showcase them. I am planning on showing my Star Wars Volume 1, like all the books. I don't think I'm going to do them all in one video because I think it would take too long. So maybe it'll be like a trilogy? No, I think that's stupid. I'll do like 2 episodes or something. We'll see what happens. So again, give, you know, give the, you'll see a previous episode here, previous episode there, right there, and then the subscribe button right there. All right, thank you, and have a good one. Bye-bye.